When you see something like this, what word comes to mind? If you said, "This is a church," it's probably because you live relatively close to one. A church is a group of Christians gathering for worship, typically in a building like this, or even this. Okay, so doesn't everyone know what a church is? Why did we have to explain it? Actually, did you know that more than a third of the world has never seen a church? That is because they've grown up in communities around the world where Christianity and even the name of Jesus are completely unknown. That's the reality for more than 3 billion people on Earth, nearly half of the entire human population. They are known as the Unreached or Unreached people groups, and they live in places where their entire community has never heard the gospel. Typically, people groups are divided into populations with their own languages, cultures, and beliefs. Of the 17,000 people groups identified around the world, more than 7,000 are considered unreached. That equates to about 40% of the Earth's population. You might be asking, why are there so many unreached people groups? Well, there are several factors at play. In order for a people group to be considered reached, 2% of their entire population would have to become active disciples of Jesus, and at least 5% would have to be Christian adherents to create a self-sustaining gospel movement, according to the Joshua Project. That sounds pretty easy, right? Well, it's actually not that simple. You see, believe it or not, there are places around the world where people still don't have access to the internet, much less electricity. These people live in such remote places that they can't access information that is otherwise easily accessible in other parts of the world. One such people group is the Amat in Nepal. They are Hindu farmers in the Himalayas, a dangerous mountain range home to some of the highest peaks in the world. With no known Christian presence among the Amat, it would take someone physically going to this remote people group for them to have any chance of hearing the gospel. This makes geographic location one of the biggest barriers to deal with. Another major factor is a country's culture and politics. In some countries, people are persecuted for being a Christian. They can be disowned by their family, beaten, or even killed if they begin following Jesus. Some governments even have laws preventing people from sharing their faith with others or from converting to Christianity. Take the Hazara in Afghanistan, for example. More than 3 million of the Hazara people live in Afghanistan, yet less than 1% are Christian. Those who follow Jesus in this Muslim nation are at risk of being tortured or killed if they are discovered. These barriers may explain why only 3% of Christian missionaries work among the unreached, while 97% go to areas where there's already a Christian presence. There is a huge opportunity that many people are missing out on. Yes, the task is difficult, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Jesus told us to make disciples of all nations, aka all people groups, so that people from every tribe and tongue can worship God. What is it going to take for this to happen? Well, there are 3 things you and I can do. Pray, give, and go. Pray for the salvation of the unreached. Give to missions focused on the unreached, or go to the unreached ourselves. There's almost half a world out there waiting to hear the greatest news ever. So, what role will you play in getting the gospel to the unreached? Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about how East West is working among the unreached, visit us online at eastwest.org.